Thank you, Mr Speaker. I rise only really to pass on the frustrations from these benches and from my residents that the important legislation planned for Wednesday will now be delayed, and that the incredibly important improvements to rail services that our residents are calling out for will be further delayed again. Parkinson's law suggested that work expands to fill the space available for its completion. Can I suggest Mandelson's law, which is when you're pointing to your government, his scandals will expand to fill the time available for their discussion. Can I ask the Minister whether he agrees that this scandal will be the defining legacy of the Starmer Premiership and shows clearly how the change and service agenda promised after the scandal and sleaze of the last Tory government were as empty words as suggesting that proper process was followed in his appointment?
Mr Speaker, I'm not going to respond to those empty words. I am going to say that I expect to announce the rescheduling of remaining stages of the Railways Bill in my statement on Thursday, and I anticipate that the House will be able to consider that stage of the bill during next week's business.
The documents show that in July 2025, Peter Mandelson contacted Number 10 to suggest that the Prime Minister should make time to meet Peter Thiel while he was in London. Peter Mandelson described him as a celebrated techie, and this followed the meeting in February 2025 with Palantir in Washington. So, firstly, can the Minister confirm whether that meeting happened? Secondly, can he confirm that if it is the view of the government, expressed unchallenged by their former ambassador to the US, that a man who described Nazi Carl Schmitt as a major influence on his thinking, and who also said that freedom and democracy are incompatible, is indeed just a celebrated techie? And finally, can he confirm that the government will review all links and contracts between the government, the NHS and police with Palantir following the revelations around Mandelson, Global Council and Palantir?
Secretary Jones.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. In relation to the specific question about whether there was a follow-up meeting further to that request, I do not know the answer, so I'm not going to make an assumption one way or another. But if the honourable gentleman tables a parliamentary question, I'm sure we'll be able to check and confirm for him. He then asks me about Peter Thiel. I'm not going to take the opportunity to give personal views about Mr Thiel, but his are on the record. And he thirdly asks me about a review of Palantir contracts, and I think the Health Secretary has confirmed there is a review currently underway in relation to their contract with the Department for Health.